Okay, I got some notes for today so I don't screw this up and maybe make my life editing this video just a little bit easier. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how I would go about recording a song at home in my room, and this is a bedroom, quite literally. It's a good looking bedroom though, I might say. Man, I've been really stepping up my lighting game. If you want to start recording, there's a couple things you're going to need. I made another longer video about this if you want to buy some expensive stuff. I'll list it up here. It's more of a how to invest in your home studio and stuff like that. But here's just a quick overview of the stuff you'll need. You're gonna need a computer, laptop, whatever. You're gonna need some software that's gonna be able to record it. Nowadays you can record stuff even on your smartphones. You're also gonna need an interface, something that you're gonna be able to plug your microphones into, or if you just use a USB mic, that's cool. I'm using an interface, and the mic of choice that I would recommend is the SM7B. That's what I'm using right here. Oops. By the way, if you watched all the way to the end of the video, you'll see I actually filmed the process of me recording a song in this room using exactly what I recommended. That way you can see how it turns out and how it sounds for yourself. The SM7B, this would be the mic that I most strongly recommend getting because you can use it for speech, you can use it for singing, you can use it for acoustic guitar, you can use it for drums, you can use it for an electric guitar amp, you can use it for percussion, you can use it for anything. Literally anything. This mic rules. It's awesome. All right, so here's what happens. You have a microphone, you have a cable, you have an interface, your computer, and then you have speakers or headphones, okay? You're gonna perform into the microphone. It's gonna go through the cable into the interface. The interface has some amplifiers that you can turn up to make sure that your level is solid and sounds good. And then your interface is going to communicate that information to your computer. Your computer will record it, and then the computer will send it back out to the interface, and your interface will send it out to your speakers or your headphones so that you can hear it. That's called signal flow. Cool. All right, so the microphone that I would recommend, again, SM7B, get it, it's awesome, and it's $350 and you can use it on anything. Next thing I would recommend, get a MIDI controller. MIDI controller is basically a keyboard that allows you to play in a either piano form or drum pad form of performance, and it's similar to this in that there's no sounds that come out, just information. And you can play in the format of a keyboard or piano, or you can play in the format of an MPC drum pad, which is really fun for programming drums. The keyboard has a USB output, it sends it to the computer, your computer reads the information, and then it processes the information through software that can generate the sound of an instrument. So, for instance, I pull this out, and I load my software. Let's say I have software that makes piano sounds, and I can play this, and what do I hear? I'll hear piano sounds. Or maybe I'll have software that makes drum sounds, and I can play the keys, and it will trigger drums. So if you get a MIDI controller, then you can buy whatever software you need, and it has unlimited potential. You can get whatever instruments you want. There's a million of them. I'll tell you about my favorites in just a little bit. All right, let's talk about microphone placement. So if you're using, let's say, the SM7B, and you're recording acoustic, I'm gonna go through the instruments that I used in this song and just show you how I would do it. All right, the first thing you wanna do is sit in a way that's natural for when you're playing. Also, before you get started, I would recommend performing this in a room that does not have a lot of noise or exterior sounds going on. Like, don't do this in the kitchen, don't do this in the living room, don't do this where somebody's gonna be walking around or talking or anything like that. Try to do it in a room with the door shut. If you record something in a room where there's no other sounds than the instrument you're playing, what you're gonna hear is just the instrument you're playing and no other sounds. Pretty simple. Cool. So there's several different ways to mic an acoustic. One of the popular ways is right on the 12th fret. The 12th fret is right about here on the neck of the guitar. So the way you do that is you would just point your mic right at the 12th fret of the acoustic, just a few inches off. You can move it closer or further depending on how close you want it to sound in your song. Now this is gonna sound kind of basic, but if you don't know this, then hopefully it'll be helpful. If you point it at the neck of the guitar, you're going to get less of the acoustic body in your sound. If you point the mic more at the body of the guitar, you get more body of a sound. Depending on what kind of song you're recording, if you're doing a song that has a lot of other instruments going on, you're gonna want less of that body because there's a lot of other instruments that need to fit in the mix. If you're doing a more intimate song that's just acoustic and vocals or just acoustic and another instrument, then it might make more sense to point the mic a little bit closer to the body. Okay, so the way that I did it for this song is I kind of met in the middle. I didn't point it at the 12th fret, and I didn't necessarily point it right at the body. What I did is I pointed right in the middle. So like right about here. I think you can see. Basically coming at the guitar right at the head of the body. So it sounds a little bit like this. So that's how I did it on this song. I actually recorded 2 different acoustic parts. One so that I can double them, pan left and right, and they're playing 2 different rhythms. That's a little bit more of a production thing than an engineering thing, but that sounded very nice on the song. And then I overdubbed a 12-string guitar that played a lead part, and that just went right up the middle or panned a little bit, I don't know, somewhere. And I used the exact same placement with the microphone. Okay, moving on. Percussion. Percussion is super easy to record, and there's a million different ways to do it. The way that I would do it in a bedroom is just with the same mic. I'm gonna use this mic for literally everything. In the song that I recorded at the end of this video, I just used 1 shaker, and I held it about 6 inches away from the mic, like this. And I actually doubled that part and panned them hard left and right. Pretty simple, right? All right, next, if you're recording an electric guitar through a guitar amp, this is how I would recommend doing that. All right, so what I would do is I would just take my electric guitar, I would plug it into whatever pedals I'm gonna use. If no pedals, just straight into the amp, that's fine. What I would do is I would take my SM7 and I would put it on a stand in front of my electric guitar amp, and I would point it at the speaker. All right, pro tip, use your smartphone flashlight, put it up against the cover of the guitar amp, and that will give you an idea of where you like to point your microphone at the speaker for the tone that you like the most. In this case, I'm in a bedroom, so it doesn't need to be that loud. But that's up to you. That's up to you how loud you want to go. Now, if you're not using an amp, you would take your electric guitar and you take your cable, plug it into your guitar, and you plug the other one into your interface, into one of the inputs. You use your mic preamp to dial in your level. So what you're looking for when you go direct is you just want to get a clean signal. You don't want it to be too hot. You're not going to get the distortion or overdrive that you want by cranking your mic pre on your interface. Just get a clean input level, look at your meter, and get about 70% of your input gain. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see 100%, you don't want to see 30%. I would say go 70, anywhere between 65 and 75% input gain structure. This is not scientific, by the way. That's what I would recommend. It's going to sound the best, and then you can go inside of your recording software and add on effects, add on drive, distortion, delay, all that stuff if you're going to go direct. I'll make another video about that. Okay, next, so bass. All right, so the way that I do bass is I almost 100% of the time record direct, either directly into my interface, or I will go into a little DI box, which gives you a few more options, but essentially you're still recording that direct sound. The DI box has an XLR output that you can send right to your audio interface, dial in your level, but it also has a through output, which basically gives you a copy of your signal so that you can also send your bass to an amp. So what I like to do is I take that copy and I will send it into my amp, and I will mess around and get some cool, totally different type of tone, usually with some distortion or some fuzz or something fun. That's just another option to blend in with my direct bass sound. That's a super common way to record bass, but if you are looking for a more interesting tone, that's definitely what I would recommend, and just be experimental with it, have fun. And honestly, I use the same microphone. I wouldn't even move it from electric guitar. I'd leave it placed in the exact same spot. That way I can record the direct sound from my bass in addition to the processed sound of my bass coming out of the guitar amp. So in regards to using a microphone, that's how I would use it for everything. For vocals, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just point the mic in front of your face. If you want a really close and intimate sound, you get really close to the mic like you're on NPR or something like that. Or if you want to get really loud, then you don't need to be so close. And if you want a little more space, just experiment with it. You'll figure out what you like very quickly. All right, in regards to using a MIDI controller, there's some software that I would recommend checking out. All right, the first one is Output. Output makes a bunch of different synths. They make some samplers. Check them out, output.com. Those guys are unbelievable. Great, super fun. I bought literally all of their stuff. This is actually a desk made by Output. It's great. Some other software that you can use, especially if you're going to be using Output, is Native Instruments. Native Instruments has different samplers. There's Battery. Battery is a drum sampling software. What that means is it's essentially a digital version of your keyboard that you can load audio files in, that you can press this thing and it will trigger that sound. You can buy different drum packs, and then you can load those drum packs into the software and then play them using your MIDI controller. that takes me to drums. Okay, so one of the most fun things about programming is programming drums, because you can just get so creative and try totally unconventional things, and I would recommend checking out That Sound. iwantthatsound.com. They have such a cool, eclectic variety of drum libraries and drum samples. Check them out. They're so fun. That's what I used in this song that's at the end of the video, and man, it's so easy and just crazy, and you can go over the top or you can be conservative with it. It's amazing. What else? If you're doing more orchestral based instruments, I would recommend East West. You can go to soundsonline.com. They have a subscription model. Everything that they make is unbelievable. The horns, strings, woodwinds, the drums, guitars, voices, just overall a great company that makes unbelievable software. So in regards to mixing and manipulating your sound, you can really just use whatever comes with the software that you're using. But if you want to buy additional plugins, I would recommend anything from FabFilter. I would recommend Universal Audio. Those are the more high-end plugin packs, but they sound unbelievable. A cool, fun reverb that's pretty affordable is made by Valhalla. Also, I'd recommend checking out Soundtoys. Soundtoys has a sweet variety of different plugins and effects packs, so check those guys out. All right, so hopefully this was useful for you. Don't get too bogged down in the theory or the specifics. Just do it often, try different stuff. Don't get caught up in one particular way. Just have fun. Pro tip, make sure your instruments are tuned. Make sure that your instruments actually sound good before you try recording them. If you're trying to record something that doesn't sound good, it's not gonna sound good. Okay, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content, and without further ado, here's the song that I recorded in this room today. And if you do like the song, leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, I will get back to you. I read all the comments, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Peace.